Okay guys, so today we are reading The Three Little Pigs and the Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and so here we go.
Hi, let's get reading.
The Three Little Pigs. The Three Little Pigs.
The Three Little Pigs, retold by Susanna Davidson. When you hear this sound, turn the page. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs, Pinky, Percy, and Poppy. They lived with their mother in a pretty little house. But the little pigs grew too big. "We want homes of our own," they said. "Build strong, safe houses." So they packed their bags and waved goodbye. "Watch out for the big bad wolf," called Mother Pig. "We will." The three little pigs trotted along until they met a man selling straw. "Can I buy some straw?" asked Pinky Pig. "I'm going to build a house." Pinky Pig worked very fast. He made 4 straw walls, a straw roof, and a straw door. Then he put down a soft straw floor. "Look at my house," he said. "Isn't it grand? Look at my house," he said. "Isn't it grand? I am a clever pig." Then he went inside and shut the door. Percy and Poppy Pig trotted on until they met a man selling sticks. "Can I buy some sticks?" asked Percy Pig. "I'm going to build a house." "Sticks are better than straw." Then he went inside and shut the door. "The wolf can't catch me now." Poppy Pig trotted on until she saw some bricks for sale. "Can I buy some bricks?" asked Poppy Pig. "I'm going to build a house." Poppy Pig worked hard. "Bricks are better than straw," she said. "Bricks are better than sticks, but they're so heavy." At last the brick house was finished. "My house is the best of all." The next day, the big bad wolf went to the straw house. Little pig, let me come in," he called. "No," cried Pinky Pig, "not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," said the wolf. And he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house in. Pinky ran as fast as he could to the stick house. The wolf was just behind him. Little pigs, let me come in," said the wolf. "No," cried Percy Pig, "not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," said the wolf. And he huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed until at last he blew the house in. Pinky and Percy ran as fast as they could to the brick house. The wolf was just behind them. Little pigs, let me come in," said the wolf. "No," cried Poppy Pig. "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," said the wolf. And he huffed and he puffed and he huffed, huff, puff, huff. And he huffed and puffed until puff, huff, puff. He ran out of puff. "Hee hee!" laughed the three little pigs. "I'm coming to get you," cried the wolf. He jumped onto the roof. He slid down the chimney and landed splosh in Poppy's cooking pot. The three little pigs slammed on the lid. And that was the end of the big bad wolf. The Three Little Pigs is a very old story. It was first written down around 200 years ago, but people were telling it to each other long before then.
Yes, I've got to choose a surprise. We have done this.
It's good to see you again.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears, retold by Susanna Davidson. When you hear this sound, turn the page. Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Goldilocks. She had lovely golden hair and looked as good as gold. But Goldilocks wasn't good. Goldilocks! She was naughty. She liked to do something naughty every day. "If you don't stop being naughty," said her mother, "your hair will turn blue." "I don't believe you," said Goldilocks, and put salt in the sugar pot. Goldilocks and the Three Bears, retold by Susanna Davidson. When you hear this sound, turn the page. Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Goldilocks. She had lovely golden hair and looked as good as gold. But Goldilocks wasn't good. Goldilocks! She was naughty. She liked to do something naughty every day. "If you don't stop being naughty," said her mother, "your hair will turn blue." "I don't believe you," said Goldilocks, and put salt in the sugar pot. "If you carry on like this," said her father, "you'll grow warts on your nose." "I don't believe you," said Goldilocks, and gave her little brother a haircut. "Now," thought Goldilocks, "what shall I do next?" Then she remembered the woods. Her mother always said, "Don't go into the woods. They're full of bears. The woods are too dangerous." That made Goldilocks want to go there even more. Goldilocks waited until no one was watching and crept out through the back door. "This is fun," thought Goldilocks as she skipped down the path. "There aren't any bears here at all." Goldilocks skipped around a corner and saw a pretty little cottage. "I wonder who lives here." Goldilocks knocked on the door. There was no answer, but there was a delicious smell coming from inside. "Mmm," said greedy Goldilocks, walking in. She followed the smell and saw 3 bowls of porridge on the table. "I'm so hungry," I'm sure no one would notice if I had a tiny taste. First, Goldilocks tried the great big bowl. Yuck! Too cold! Next, she tried the middle-sized bowl. Ow! Too hot! Last of all, Goldilocks tried the porridge in a tiny bowl. Just right. She ate it all up. Feeling full, Goldilocks looked for somewhere to sit. First, she tried the great big chair. Too hard, said Goldilocks. Next, she tried the middle-sized chair. Too soft. Last of all, Goldilocks tried the tiny chair. It's just right, thought Goldilocks, until... Crack! The chair broke. Oops, giggled Goldilocks. I'll just lie down instead. Goldilocks climbed the stairs to the bedroom. Ooh, 3 beds to choose from. She tried the first bed. Too hard. She tried the second bed. Too soft. She tried the third bed. Just right, said Goldilocks. In no time at all, Goldilocks was fast asleep. As she slept, a large, heavy paw pushed at the front door. 3 bears stomped into the house. There was a great big father bear, a middle-sized mother bear, and a cuddly little baby bear. Father Bear went straight to the table. He was hungry. He looked at his porridge bowl and let out a great big growl. "Who's been eating my porridge?" he said in his great gruff voice. "Who's been eating my porridge?" said Mother Bear in her middle-sized voice. "Who's been eating my porridge?" squeaked Baby Bear in his tiny voice. "They've eaten it all up." Father Bear looked around the room. "Who's been sitting in my chair?" he growled in his great gruff voice. "Who's been sitting in my chair?" asked Mother Bear in her middle-sized voice. "Who's been sitting in my chair?" squeaked Baby Bear. "They've broken it." Then the 3 bears heard loud snores from upstairs. They climbed the stairs. "Who's been sleeping in my bed?" growled Father Bear in his great gruff voice. "Who's been sleeping in my bed?" said Mother Bear in her middle-sized voice. "Who's been sleeping in my bed?" squeaked Baby Bear in his tiny voice. "She's still there." Baby Bear began to cry. He cried so loudly, Goldilocks woke up. She looked at the 3 bears, opened her mouth, and screamed. Goldilocks ran out of the house. She ran home. Goldilocks ran out of the house. She ran home as fast as she could go. "I'll never, ever be naughty again."
Yes, I've got to choose. Noodle. And I finished it. Well, guys, that was so much fun. This is the end, guys. Goodbye, guys.